So firstly, let us pay homage to the Buddha. Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Today, um, 2024, May 4th, so in the Bodhi Monastery, we conduct the spring retreats. Because of that, firstly, I would like to say that my appreciations, the founder of the master of this center, Master Yin Xuan, and also Master Chan Chan, because they had founded this center, so we can conduct the retreat, and also a lot of benefits to gain our Buddha disciple also. Therefore, wherever they are, so please rejoice this very end. May you attain the highest, the pure lands. The second one is also I would like to say that my appreciations this center about Master Kwachin, and also the teacher, the Bhikkhu body also. I would like to say that my appreciations, and also Pandit Kovida and the Pandit Dhammadasi, Siali, and the Sandi also. I would like to say that my appreciations, because I have the chance to have this retreat also. And also another one is who provides the full requisites for this retreat, and also and all the volunteers and the Dhamma workers. So for the meditator to successfully practice their meditation also, I am very appreciate your effort and the labor to provide the Buddha Sasana. So really, so to practice the meditation is not easy, because training our mind, because we have to give the times. Therefore, within this retreat also, I hope, according to your effort and the wisdom, to improve and to develop your Samatha and Vipassana meditations. So I think you will practice ardently, diligently, according to the rule and regulations. And another one is because our teacher, the most venerable Paul Sayadaw, teaching is Samatha and Vipassana meditations, according to the Visuddhimagga and Abhidhamma teaching. So systematically, detailing our Buddha, our teachings, Paul Sayadaw gave the guidance how to practice this Samatha and Vipassana meditation. Because of that also, meditator must first develop the concentration, one of the 40 meditation subject. So really, in our center, our Paul Sayadaw teach for the Samatha meditation, for the purification of consciousness. So Sayadaw taught Anapana meditation and mindfulness of breathing, and 4 element meditation, Chatudaru Vavathana Kamatana. One of the meditation subjects meditator can choose. Normally, so initially this step, so for Anapana meditation. 4 element meditation also must practice. So must be practiced for the beginning of Vipassana, foundation of Vipassana also. Because of that, among the meditator, so who like to practice a 4 element meditation also, I will give the instruction. But generally, short-term retreat, so we teach the Anapana meditation first. Because of that, if it's required, I will explain there how to practice mindfulness of breathing. For the beginner, I think most of the meditator, so you have already practiced this mindfulness of breathing. Do you require to teach or to explain the mindfulness of breathing? Any beginners? Hmm? Yeah. How many person? Yeah. Yeah. Then later I will explain. No? So I think some meditator also, you have learned the Samatha and Vipassana meditations. So from the Venerable Kovida or any other Pa'au teacher, so you can continue your meditations according to your reaching the stage. So during the interview time, according to your setting, I will give the instruction to you to go the further. So not studying, practicing Samatha and Vipassana meditation. So that is because of that, may you all improve and progress that your meditation. Now, I would like to explain there how to practice the mindfulness of breathing. So if you had LAM also, so repetition course, you can more understand.
Sayadaw,
Yeah.
they will have to take Sila first.
Or Sila. Oh yeah. So that is the 10 precept or only the 8 precept or
5 and 8 precepts.
8 precept.
And 10 precepts also, Sayadaw.
Same time or separately?
Depends on Sayadaw. Sayadaw they have the wordings on the screen.
Oh yeah. So now the first sections. So taking the precept, because of that, so you should recite. This taking the asking the precept. Repeat after me. Hambande tisarani na saha atinga samana katam upasatha silam for the siali. Tassa pabijja silam tamaya for to recite all. Tamaya chami anugahan katwa silandeta me bande dutiyampi hambande tisarani na saha atinga samana katam. Siali no need to recite. No, Siali must recite that. Tassa pabijja sila. Siali must keep the 10 precept. Lay people must keep not 8 precept. Atami 8. No? So to recite the Siali. Tassa pabijja silam. Dhammaya chami. Anugahan katwa. Silande ta me bande. Tatiyampi. Hambande. Tisarani na saha. For layman, Atinga samanagatam. Uposatha silam. For the Sayali. Dasa pabijja silam. To recite all. Tamaya chami. Anugahang katwa. Silandeta me bandi. Yam hawada mi tawareta. Ama. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa 3 times. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhamman saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. You say. Dudiyambi Buddham saranam gacchami, Dudiyambi Dhamman saranam gacchami, Dudiyambi Sangham saranam gacchami. Tatyampi Buddhan Saranam Gacchami, Tatyampi Dhamman Saranam Gacchami, Tatyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Tisarana Gamanam Pariponam. Parnati Pata Viramini Sekavarans Mariyami. Adina Dana Viramini Sekavarans Mariyami. Abrahmacharya Viramini Sekavarans Mariyami. Musawada Viramini Sekavarans Mariyami. Sura Miraya Majapamaratana Viramini Sekavarans Mariyami. Vikala Bhojana Viramini Sekavarans Mariyami. So the layman who take the Uposatha Sila, no? You must recite 7 and 8 together. No? But for the temples, that is must separate, no? Separately 7 and 8, because Nicha Gita Warita. So we still got that. No? Nicha Gita Warita. We still got Dasana. So no? Samadhi Yami. So Siali must recite. No? Also Malagana, Vilepana, Dharana, Mandana, Vibhusana Thana, Viramni Sekavaran Samadhi Yami. But laymen who take the Uposatha Sila, so no, must recite 2 sentences together. No? Because of that, no, I will recite 1 sentence. No? Nacha Gita Wadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatana Viramini Sekavarans Mariyami. Later. So the Siale, Nacha, Gita, Warita, Visugadasana, Viramini Sekavarans Mariami, Malaganda, Vilepana, Dharana, Mandana, Vibhusanatana, Viramini Sekavarans Mariami. Ochasayana, Mahasayana, Viramini Sekavarans Mariami. So now, layman, no need to recite. This is for the 10th precept for the Sayali. No? Jata Rupa Rajata Padekahana Viramini Sekavarans Mariami. Irame Punyam Asawakyam Wahang Hodu Idame Silang Nibbanasa Pachayo Hodu Tisarani Nasaha Atinga Samanagatam Uposatha Silan Dhamma Tisarani Nasaha Dasa Pabija Silan Dhamma Sadukang Katwa Apamadina Sampadita Amat Pandit Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. So no, now I would like to explain there how to practice mindfulness of breathing. I think you have listened many times who join there for the no, meditation retreats. So no, our Buddha no, preach this Anapana Sutta also many places and also mentioned in there. So Mahasati-Patthana Sutta also in there. Kaya Nupassana, contemplation of foundation of no, mindfulness of the body. Firstly, our Buddha preach to practice the meditation to choose the suitable place. Because of that, Ida Bhikkhu Bhikkhu Arinya Gatowa, so Roka Mula Gatowa, Sunyagara Gatowa, Nisitati. Because of that, meditator must choose firstly suitable place. The Blessed One gives the instructions. Having gone into the forest, or to the foot of a tree, or to an empty place, sit down, cross-legged, holding his body erect, having established mindfulness before him, on the breath in front of him. Because of that, no, meditator must choose suitable place, also sit cross-legged position, so then to keep the upper body straight positions, should not, no. So sitting cross-legged also, if you are able to sit full lotus or half lotus posture, you can sit. But if you cannot sit, so the lotus posture, so putting your legs side by side, it is better. As the legs do not overlap each other, the pain is reduced, numbness will be less. When keeping the upper body upright, do not bend the neck and the spine. If the upper body of the bend, you will get back ache and or neck ache because of incorrect positions. So, no? Also, due to your ribs are pressed on your lunch, so you may feel short of the breath or making it difficult to breathe, and also chest pain. Therefore, you should keep your body straight position. So keep your upper body straight, and also close your eyes comfortably and focus on your breathing. Sometimes, if your breath is not obvious, using your thumbs and the fingers like this, close one of the two nostrils, taking a deep breath from the other side. So, no, check the air through the both nostrils. So, no, check how do you feel. The air of breathing, the air of both nostrils, so are not the same. It's no, the difference. You can notice one of the two nostrils is good for breathing and the other is stuffy and not breathing well. So pay attention more the nostril that is good for breathing. The air will be noticeable and the concentrating mind and the breath will be harmonized. After that, at which place to be concentrated? I would like to give the two similes method. So in the Visuddhimagga, so mentioned in the Visuddhimagga, the simile of the saw and the simile of the gatekeeper. You see, for the example, when cutting a lock with a saw, you put your attention at the point where the lock meets the saw. You don't follow the backwards and the forwards of saw movements. As in this example above, if your breath to touches at your upper lips, know the breath at the touching point of the upper lips. And if the breath touches at the tip of nostril, know the breath at the touching point of tip of the nostril. Don't follow your mind with in-breath and out-breath. Here, if you are not, wondering whether I should focus on the breath or just touching point, I will explain with another examples. The simile of the gatekeeper. Nowadays we call security guards also. The gatekeeper only watches the persons who pass through the gate and checks. He doesn't watch the gate and not checking the gate. His duty is whoever comes at his gate, he check, and also he doesn't follow and inquire inside the people or outside the people. Just like this example, you do not have to focus just on the touching point. Focus on the in and out breath at the touching point. So now you find your object in breath and out breath, and also you know that at which place to be concentrated according to the Blessed One said. So Satowa Asasati, Satowa Pasasati. Mindfully he breathes in, mindfully he breathes out. While you are breathing in, know the in breath. While you are breathing out, know the out breath. Initially, if you like to recite in, out, you can recite. But because of recitations, if you are tired or when your mind is calm, no need to recite or level. Because of nature of our monkey mind, wandering a lot, if you cannot control, so no, you use the counting method. The counting method means count in out once, in out two, in out three, in out 4, in out 5, in out 6, in out 8, in out 7, in out 8. Like that you can count your breath. But if the meditator use the counting method, should not count less than 5 and do not let it be more than the 10th. Why? Because if the number counted is less than 5, you will not get good concentration. If you count the numbers are greater than 10, you are more aware on the number and less aware on the breath. Because of these reasons, should not count less than 5 and more than 10. My teacher chose the number 8 as respect of Eightfold Noble Path. If you like also, you can use this number or your lucky numbers. But no need to count how many rounds of 1 to 8. While counting, you do not have to count how many times you get. While you are using counting method, you must determine while I am counting whatever distractions interrupt my mind. I will try to finish my determined number and the counted number. Having counted again and again later on, you will be able to succeed to subside the distractions. When your mind is calm or because of recitations, if you are tired, you can stop this counting method. If you have been sitting for a long time, the body's nature will cause the stiffness, pain, numbness, and the discomfort feelings. Some meditation teachers instruct to contemplate on these body sensations. While you are trying to develop the Anapana meditations, mindfulness of breathing, you should not aware on these body sensations. Don't pay attention on these body sensations. If these discomfort feelings are getting worse and worse, you cannot bear. Pay attention on the breath and gradually and mindfully change your body posture and remove these feelings. And then continue to concentrate on the breath. Because of minor discomfort, you should not change your body posture too often. If you change your body posture too often, you will not get good concentration. Without changing body posture, if you contemplate these body sensation also, mindfulness of breathing meditation will not be developed. Without changing body posture, so trying to bear the pain feeling and the forcibly concentrate on the breath because of physically and mentally exhausted, you will not get good concentration. Therefore, when you cannot bear this and you cannot bear this discomfort feeling, should change your body posture to improve your concentration. After that, in Anapana Sutta and the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the Blessed One said, breathing in a long breath, he notes that he breathes in a long breath and breathing out a long breath. He notes that he breathes out a long breath. So, not breathing in a short breath, he knows he breathes in a short breath and the breathing out a short breath. He knows that he breathes out a short breath because our Buddha instructed to know the long and short breath. So meditator have to know the long and short breath. So after that, the, the, you know, the third step is experiencing the whole breath body. I will breathe in, thus he trained himself, and experiencing the whole breath body, I will breathe out, thus he trained himself. That is, Sabbakaya Parisamvedi, asa seksami disekati, sabakaya prisangwiri, pasa seksami disekati. According to that instructions, meditator must not experiencing the whole breath body. I will breathe in, thus he trained himself. Experiencing the whole breath body, I will breathe out, thus he trained himself. Later on, the fourth state is coming the breath body, I will breathe in, thus he trained himself, and coming the breath body, I will breathe out, thus he trained himself. That is the Pasambayang Kaya Sinkaran Asa Seksami Disikati. Pasambayang Kaya Sinkaran Asa Seksami Disikati. According to this instruction, meditator must learn how to practice this instruction step by step from the teacher. While the meditator is developing the concentration through the mindfulness of breathing, do not pay attention to the sabhava lakkhana and samanya lakkhana, and or the nimitta. Sabhava lakkhana means the natural characteristics of four elements in the breath: hardness, roughness, hot, cold, and pushing, etc. Samanya lakkhana means the that is the impermanent, suffering, non-self characteristics of the breath, and also simply aware of the in and out breath as a concept. Also, you may ask, when I am sitting meditation, I pay attention on the breath, but after the sitting meditation, which object to be concentrated? According to my teacher saying, as the clear comprehension of result to Gochara Sambhajana. After the sitting meditation, while you are doing walking meditation, pay attention on the breath. Not walking meditation only, but also lying down, standing, any posture, pay attention on the breath. Most of the beginners encounter with these difficulties. Most of the beginner to encounter these difficulties. Most of the difficulties are pain in the body, mind drifting due to the lack of mindfulness and concentration, sleepiness and the drowsiness and the sleeplessness, and also distracting the noises, appearance of the vision of from the past, and also in and out breath are too subtle to be recognized. These seven difficulties are so mostly encountered by this beginner meditator. At the interview time, the discussions, so the teacher and trying to overcome these difficulties in the interview time. So the teacher will say how to overcome these difficulties. Should meditate regularly according to the center daily schedule, and do not talk too many unnecessary. And at other times of meditations, do not read too much, and do not use your smartphone. So really, everyone should practice the mindfulness of breathing, Buddha or so really, so everyone should practice mindfulness of breathing, Buddhist or non-Buddhist. Everyone has to breathing to alive. So one who practice to calm your mind on the breath will get the great benefits. So because of that also, our Buddha preached in the Anapana Sutta, Ayampi ko bhikkhave, Anapana sati samadhi, bhavito bahuli kato, santo chiwa panito cha, asechana kocha, sukhocha viharo, Opanopane cha babake akusaletame, thana so andara dabesi upasamiti. So that is that the meaning is to the concentration by the mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated. Then it brings about great benefits, great fruits and the benefits. The concentration of mindfulness of breathing, when developed and cultivated, is peaceful, calm, and excellent. Also, that is asichana kocha, mean that not necessary to add something else. So one dwells in bliss and it disperses and the quills right on the spot, even unwholesome state whenever the arises. So Santo Chi wa Panito Cha. It is Anapana meditation is peaceful and excellent. All the nimitta are also calm, very calm. So upasamato, peaceful, negbuto. So when meditator attain first jhana, he gets to feel very peaceful. The jhana stage is more peaceful. The jhana state is much more peaceful. Fourth jhana state is most peaceful. Peacefulness is in the accordance with the respective stage because the object is also excellent. The nimitta is also excellent. The jhana factors are also excellent. Therefore, the Buddha prays Anapanasati Samadhi is peaceful and excellent. Asichana kocha. It is not necessary to add something else. If Anapanasati is particular, special by itself, it is calm and excellent, not only when one attains the Upachara Samadhi or Apana Samadhi. At the time when he begins to meditate, even before the nimitta arises, Anapanasati meditation is calm. It is the meditation when the mind is peaceful, excellent. It is not necessary to add something else. So, furthermore, let us say, if a meditator want to practice Adkasina, if he is not skillful in the beginning, then he has to make an Adkasina dish. He must take it as Parikama Nimitta. But for the Anapana meditation, it's not necessary to add something else, such as preliminary work. Meditator can begin by paying attention on the breath. Concentrate on it. The concentration of mindfulness of breathing disperses and the quills right on the spot, even unwholesome states whenever they arise. The Buddha gave the simile. So, in the last month of the hot seasons, due to the heat of the sun and the wind, dust is blown about everywhere. The heavy rain which falls out of the seasons can make the dust disappear immediately. When a mass of the dust and the dirt has swelled up, a great rain cloud of the season disperse it and quill it on the spot. Like that, the Blessed One preached about the benefits of mindfulness of breathing. Although you as a real life is difficult to meditate regularly and the daily, if you meditate daily, you will experience and gain a lot of benefits in daily life because of your work matters, or the business matters, or the family matters, etc. If you are mind confused, you should meditate anapana uh, sati meditation and make your mind to be clear. When your mind is clear from the mental impurity, you will be able to make the right decision and it can be solved and the work well. Sometimes, if you feel sick or not feeling well, through the practice, the mindfulness of breathing, some minor illness will be recovered. The anxiety caused by the disease that you are suffering from also relieved by the meditations. And even if your body and the mind are tired and the drain of energy, if you are meditate in a comfortable positions, when your mind soon calm down, you will feel refreshed and energized as if recharge the battery. Another thing is we have to live our life according to our karma and the proper conditions. One day we will inevitably face death. So no matter how you have been lived throughout your life, this time of death is the most important time if you are alive. Why? Usually, it is not just minor disease and the pain that is so no will cut off the life faculty and the body have to leave the living and the inanimate things that you love and the cherish. Also, you have to be separated and have to go on a life journey that can be never meet again. You have to choose another life, which is the good existence. Therefore, this event is most important time of the life. According to Abhidhamma, so Desana, in the case of those who are about to die at the time of death, one of the three signs of the objects come into the manifestation in one of the six sense door by the power of the karma. That is, firstly, karma action that is produced rebirth linking in the next existence, and also a sign of karma that is a form, etc., that had been apprehended at the time of performing the karma, or something that was instrumental in performing the karma, or the third sign is a sign of destiny, that is gatinimita, the thing that will be obtained and the experience in the next life. If only good sign manifests at the time of near death, one can be reborn in the good existence. And if it is bad sign, one will be reborn in the one of the four woeful states. So in that moment, if you cannot remember any of the you cannot any of the wholesome objects, but able to concentrate on your breath. The mind concentrating on the breath is called the sense-via wholesome consciousness. Through this mind, passing away from this life to the next life, it will support to be reborn in good existence. In fact, at the time of near death, to learn how to practice meditation is impossible. Therefore, before reach this time saturations, must learn and the practice regularly. When you are about to die, you will get a reliable object. Therefore, if you make effort at the right chance and the right time, you will be reliable to yourself when you are faced with an emergency. So, not because of that, now you gain the right opportunity, right time, so right places. Therefore, so I like to ask you, as much as you should practice ardently, diligently, and may you achieve the highest your goals.
So that means you have already started Namo Tassa, right? So I will not start with Namo Tassa. Okay? Now as a meditator, then we also have to know what kind of factors make our concentration weaker or our practice weaker. We can also know what kind of factors make our concentrations and our practice stronger. In Anguttara Nikaya, Book of 5, the Buddha explains the 5 factors. When we have these 5 factors, we cannot maintain our Dhamma. That means we cannot establish ourselves in the Dhamma. Not only that, when we also falls away from the Dhamma. That is why we have to learn these 5 factors. The first one is asada. Asada means no confidence. Sometimes we don't have confidence with our practice. Also, we don't have confidence with our abilities. If we don't have confidence, we cannot improve. That is why confidence is also important in our practice. I should also explain something about confidence here. Now, we have many different types of confidence in Buddha teaching. As a Buddhist, we also have some confidence about normal belief, like Buddha, believe in Buddha teaching, or believe in Dhamma, and believe in Sangha, and so on. If we have all this kind of belief or this kind of faith, we can also understand as a religious faith. Then we also have another part of the faith, that is belief in 3 trainings, and it is a result. We can also say it's a benefit. So sometimes, although we are practicing, we don't know the benefit of trainings. For example, morality. We also have the benefit of moralities. If we can undertake the precepts, we can also protect ourselves from danger. Similarly, we can also save other living beings from the danger. We can also protect other living beings from their danger. This is the meaning of sada. So that means when we believe in the benefit of practice, the benefit of trainings is also called sada. We must know that morality is also beneficial for our life. Concentration is also beneficial for our life. Wisdom trainings, vipassana also beneficial for our life. If we have this kind of belief, this also can be considered as a sada. So briefly, if we believe in karma and its result, this also can be considered as a sada. So if we have sada, we can maintain our practice. We can also improve our practice. If we don't have sada, we cannot establish in our practice. Also, we cannot maintain our practice. Not only that, we can also get lost in our practice. That means there will be only declinations of concentration. We cannot improve anymore. We also have many different similes of sada. Sada is like hands we have. If we have hands, we can take anything we like. We can pick up anything we like. Similarly, if we have sada, we can do any kind of good things. We can achieve anything we wish. This is also the power of sada. In the case of sada, we also have to know one more thing. Sada also can make a stronger decision or very firm decision. Sometimes when we have overconfidence, I don't know, we may be like a mana, pride, or conceit, or arrogance, or stubborn. Actually, mana also can make our decisions stronger, but is not so clear as sada. When we have sada, we may make decision. That decision will make our mind clear and pure. When we decide something with our mana, pride, or conceit, or arrogance, then we cannot make our mind clear. That is why sada is important to clarify or to make our mind clear. When we have sada, our mind will be very clear, our vision will be clear, then we can do everything easily and smoothly. This is also important. We have the second factor is ahirika, moral shamelessness. So when we say moral shamelessness, that means we also need to know what is the really meaning of moral shame. If we are morally shameless, that means it will lead us to be immoral. Then it will lead us to break precepts. So if we have moral shame, then we will make our decisions stronger. Also, then we may make decision to follow the precepts or moral precept or rules and regulations. The main thing is that ahirika means we don't respect ourselves and our own value. If we respect our value, and we may have moral shame. For example, we grow older and older. According to the our age, then we must also respect our value. Not only that, we have a learning knowledge. Then we also have to respect our knowledge. We also have ability. We also have to respect our ability. Not only that, we also have our environment, our family. If we do something wrong, it will affect our family, our friends, our community. So if we respect our own value, then we can protect our community. We can also make our community better. That is why ahirika is for declinations, hiri is for improvement. Then if we have moral shameless, then we will get lost. We cannot achieve as we expected. For example, we wish to attain jhana, path and fruition knowledge. If we don't have hiri, we cannot achieve anything. That's why it's also important to have hiri. Otherwise, we may break many precepts. Second one is anudapa. Anudapa, so that one is the one, right? Is anudapa. Anudapa means moral fearlessness. When we say moral fearless, we can also understand that we are very easy to do something wrong. We don't hesitate to do something wrong. So that means we don't train ourselves. We are very familiar with wrong things or wrongdoing. This is called moral fearlessness. Sometimes when we have habit of doing many wrong things, we are very familiar with that. That is why we don't scare. We don't hesitate to do this kind of things. In the case of anutapa, it also comes from respect. We do respect other people, our community. Then if we respect other people, other living beings, we may have moral fear. Actually, there are many other things we have to talk about anutapa. That means we may respect the Buddha. The Buddha is very pure. So if we respect the Buddha, then we may not break precepts. This is also important. Then not only that, we may have our aim. We may expect to attain jhana or nibbana or anything. So if we expect very high quality, we must upgrade our moral, our value. So morality is valuable. That's why if we don't have ottappa, I mean if we are shameless or fearless in doing wrong thing, it will be for our declinations. It cannot be for our improvement. So for all the practitioners, the first three are a little bit simple. We have saddha, hiri, and ottappa. These are just for basics. Then we also have another one, kusita. Kusita means lazy. The fourth pattern, kusita. This is also really very important for our practice. Sometimes we are lazy, then we cannot meditate properly, and we cannot improve. That's why this is also one of the factors. It will make our practice weaker, and also it will make our expectations. It will get lost our expectation. So that is why we also need to have power, the mental power to practice. Then we must be energetic to practice. The opposite factor of kusita is intelligence, or we can also say efforts. Here in this case, we may have two different types of efforts: mental energy and bodily energy. So if we don't use our bodily energy properly, then this is also called wrong efforts, metta vayama. Similarly, if we don't use our mental energy properly, this is also called metta vayama, wrong efforts. So we have to use our bodily energy and mental energy properly. Okay, for the meditator today, I also have to remind, when we are meditating, sometimes we expect too much. We put very strong efforts. The stronger effort we make, then the more restlessness arises. That is why we must be very careful. Whenever we can know the breathing normally and naturally, don't put any extra effort. This is also important. In many retreats, I also remind many meditators explaining the same things. That means if we are practicing properly, then we also have natural efforts, then we're gonna get lost. Okay, here in the case of efforts, we also have to know many different levels of efforts. Especially here in this retreat, we should recommend two wholesome deeds. In the samsara, we have already accumulated many unwholesome deeds. That means we have already done all types of unwholesome deeds in the samsara. But in the samsara, there are many wholesome deeds we have never done. We have never practiced. It also includes many different types of meditation subjects. Then again, now and then many of meditators are practicing anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing, very simple subjects. The subject is so simple that we have less interest in it. That means sometimes we are not really interested in meditation, but it's very dry, very simple. People like very complicated things, very messy things. If they have to make themselves simple, they are not ready to accept the conditions. But the main thing is efforts. We have to make our mind power to incline to meditation, to have more interest in meditation. So if we are interested in meditation, we may have more energetic, then we may practice better. Okay, so in the case of wholesome, I should go back to the previous topic. In the case of wholesome deeds, we have accumulated many unwholesome, right? We have to do many wholesome deeds in this very life. Then there are many wholesome deeds we have never practiced in this very life. For example, 4-element meditation will be totally new for all the meditators. We may have many different types of casinos. It will be very new to all the meditators. Not only that, we also have many other types of practice in samatha. Similarly, there are many other practices in vipassana we have never tried before. So that means we must be ready to do all the things. It will be a very long process. Sometimes we also say, why we have to do many subjects? We cannot know our parami. That is why we have to make very strong efforts to practice all different methods. Only the Buddha can know the suitable meditation subjects for meditators. That is why we have to do our best to practice all the methods. Okay, the main thing is there are many samatha subjects. There are also many different vipassana subjects. We have to learn, we have to practice. So we need more energy to learn all the things, to practice all the things. Actually, now we may have a 20-day retreat maybe, right? In the current place. The first plan is a 20-day retreat. So 20 days is actually very short for me. But actually for meditation, it would be too long. The main thing is 20 days is long enough to see the light, to see the nimitta. Mostly, if we know the value or the benefit of meditations, we may have more interest in it. We may be more diligent. That's why I'm just talking about this one. So we can expect, you can also expect, within these 20 days, you can see the light, you can also see the nimitta. You must believe your ability, saddha. The first one is also important. Now, the fourth one, viriya, effort. You can be diligent. So if we don't have any target or any goal or any ambition, then it will be a bit dry. So we must aim something. We must expect something. But one more thing, don't expect too much also. If you expect too much, it's also greed. Because of greed, you may make extra efforts, excessive effort. Then all the controlling faculties cannot work properly. There will be more difficulty for you. Okay, the main thing is kusita. Right? Laziness is also very clear already for declination. Otherwise, the effort. So we have two different things to improve. Two different things about effort. The first one is to maintain good qualities, good things. It's not that easy to maintain good quality because we have to maintain our concentration quality, our morality. We have to maintain many different things. So the main thing is when we have right efforts, we will be able to maintain all the good qualities, good conditions, good practice. Another one, we must develop our good qualities. For example, if you can focus on the breath for 5 minutes in current conditions, the next sitting, trying to focus 5 minutes many times. If you can do well in the next sitting, you can also increase 10 minutes. If you can do well, there will be many 10 minutes in one section. So this means development. We can develop quality or quantity. Quantity means long time sitting. Quality means good focusing. Wait, one more thing. If we put too much effort, we cannot maintain very long time. I have said the same thing in many Dhamma talk, many meditation retreats. Especially when I have to give meditation instructions, I also add this one. If you save your energy, you can meditate, you can sit 1 hour, 2 hours, it doesn't matter. If you put too much mind power to know the breath, then your effort becomes stronger and stronger. You cannot maintain well. If you use too much mind power and too much bodily energy, you cannot maintain more than 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, gone. You cannot maintain anymore. You become exhausted, just sitting and thinking. That is why when you are meditating, you have to save energy. That means you must have proper energy, proper effort, right effort. Sometimes effort will be up and down. You make a little bit more effort. You may have better concentration. make a little bit stronger efforts, you get better. Then gradually, you cannot maintain your concentration. Then you drop to 0. You have to restart from the 0. You may make a little bit more effort to get better. Then you cannot satisfy with it. Try a few more efforts. Try a few more effort. Few more effort. Finally, you cannot maintain. It will happen the same things in the practice. If that kind of thing happen, you will be able to maintain 1 hour. After 1 hour, no more energy. That is why although we say viriya, we must have proper viriya. That means right efforts. If excessive efforts, it will cause a lot of restlessness. Not only that, also we get very tired. So if we can save energy, we may feel free and comfort, and we may also be able to maintain our concentrations. But the main thing is, when we are going to develop, I just say quality and quantity. Quality means if you can do 5 minutes, don't pressure yourself too much. Try to do for 5 minutes. You can determine 5 minutes many times in one section. If you can do 10 minutes, okay, determine for 10 minutes. 10 minutes many times in one section. It will be easier for improvement. Okay. So when we talk about kusita, I have already said 2 different things. One is to maintain good quality. Second is to develop. So that means if we are maintaining or developing, we have right efforts. Then if we don't have right efforts, then we cannot maintain, we cannot develop. That is also important. So if we are lazy, we cannot practice the Noble Dhamma. Not only that, we cannot establish in the Noble Dhamma. Not only that, then we may decline or we may get lost. This is also important. Okay, now the last one we call Dupanya or Panya, Panyawanda. So when we talk about Dupanya, that means lack of knowledge. In the case of practice, we also need skill. Now, I think the durations of retreat is long enough for beginner. Then, now you may not ask this and many questions. Maybe later you may ask many questions also. Okay, now I will answer before you ask a question. Sometimes, not only sometimes, but many people in many places ask me the same questions. That is, Bhante, how long does it take to see the nimitta? I have to come and study in PATVDH. Mostly, they ask this kind of question. They also know in PATVDH, if we cannot see the nimitta, we cannot do anything. Then they also want to try in PATVDH. They want to see the nimitta. They also expect, they also believe they can see the nimitta. Then whenever they ask this kind of question, I just answer very simple. It doesn't come from the duration. It just comes from skill. Although we meditate whole day, whole night, if we are not skillful, we cannot improve. That's why I just talk to them. All the achievements, all the improvements come from skill. It does not come from duration. So now again, I have to remind, if we can sit long time, we think we can improve. But in reality, if we are not skillful, although we sit very long time, it's not that much meaningful. Sometimes your mind and breath become harmonious. At the time, you can meditate longer. The longer you sit, the better it will be. That's why it's also important for the practitioners to be wise and necessarily don't waste energy. Another thing is when we talk about panya, they also call skill. In the case of meditations, we need many different skills. For example, before we see the nimitta, before seeing the nimitta, we must be skillful and focus on the breath. Then, when our mind becomes very stable and mind and breath become very harmonious, we must remember which conditions make this kind of good concentration. How many supporting causes for this kind of concentration? We must remember all the supporting causes of improvement. So we also have to remember all the process of improvement. That if we can know how to maintain and how to develop, that means it is skill. If we are skillful, we can improve faster. In the case of samatha, most people also misunderstand. Samatha is just concentration. It's not wisdom. In reality, samatha also needs wisdom. If you have studied Abhidhamma, you may know all the jhana associated with wisdom, panya. Without wisdom, we cannot attain jhana. Not only that, skill. This is also panya, wisdom. If we are not skillful, we cannot achieve anything. Now, one more thing here. Whenever we talk about panya, then Buddha also say one thing, the light of wisdom. Panya sama avanati. There is no brightness like wisdom. Or we can also say another way, the light of wisdom is the brightest of all the light. So that means if we don't have wisdom, we cannot see the light. When we become wiser, we can see the light. Sometimes people think, oh, seeing the light is a very high quality. Not all the people can see. Sometimes they can also think that, oh, my light is brighter than all other people. Of course, nobody can see, right? But sometimes we have this kind of mindset. It's also a little risky for the meditators. The main thing is, although we see the light, it's not really strong enough to attain jhana yet. Seeing the light is very beginning of practice. After seeing the light, there will be nimitta. There can be different conditions also. Some meditators, they see nimitta first, or rather they see the light. But many of meditators, they see the light first, after that, they see the nimitta. Okay, the main thing is wisdom. If we are not wise enough, we cannot see the light. This is also one thing. If we don't have wisdom, we cannot also see the nimitta. If we don't have wisdom, we cannot attain jhana. All the things come from skill and practice. So if we are not very skillful, if we are unwise, we cannot maintain our practice. We cannot improve our practice also. If we are wise enough, we can maintain, we can improve. Okay, if we summarize today's suttas, there are 5 fetters. The first is saddha. Compared to opposite of saddha is asaddha. That means lack of faith. Second one is hiri. Hiri means moderation. Okay, we also have ahirika, moderation. Natapa. Ottappa is a moderation. Natapa is a moderation. Oh, sorry. Ottappa is a moderate fear. Natapa is a moderate fearless. Not only that, we also have to talk about kusita, laziness. Mind is not very active. Mind is unwilling to meditate. We call kusita. Then opposite of kusita is viriya, effort or diligence. Finally, we have dupanya, lack of wisdom. Another is panyawa, wisdom, having wisdom or being wise. So we have 5 negative fetters. 5 positive factors. All the negative factors will lead to declinations. All the positive factors will lead you development. So we have to remember all these things. Then when we are practicing, we must do respectfully. Another thing here. In the case of meditations, we are also very familiar with one Pali word, apamada. There are many definitions of apamada. Heedful, also vigilance, diligence, unforgetful. Right? There are many synonyms, many words. Right? The main thing is when we say apamada, one of the things is respect. We must do our practice respectfully. Sometimes we don't respect our ability. That means we don't use our effort properly. Sometimes we don't respect practice. Then we don't practice respectfully. We don't respect meditation subjects. We just do whatever thing we like. It's not the way to improve. In the case of apamada, we also have to remember respect. Practicing respectfully. We have another part we call saddhata. Saddhata means because of consistency. If we say consistency, then we must practice continuously. If we can do continuously, then we may have more experiences, more skillful. We can speed up our improvements naturally. That's why it's also important to have consistency when we are practicing. Then there's also another part of apamada. That is not forgetting our duties, not neglecting our duties. So that means when we are practicing, when we are in meditation center, this is our duties to practice. Don't neglect duties. This is also called apamada. So that means we can train ourselves to have more apamada. You have already known the very famous stanza, apamado amadam badam, pamado majuno badam. That means apamada is the way to deathless. Pamada is the way to death. Actually, although we say death very simply, it doesn't mean only the end of the life. It also can be the end of trainings. If we have apamada, we can upgrade our trainings. If we have pamada, it's the end of trainings. It will lead to the end of trainings. That means it will decline or we will get lost. Then, as we have already know the value of practice, then you must try to have all these quality, ability, and you have to try your best, right? So today I will have very short introductions. Maybe tomorrow morning I have to get Dhamma talk, right? So, okay, I will stop here for a while. Then you may have questions, right? Anyway, as a meditator now, you can try your best. Another thing is that don't pressure yourself too much. It doesn't mean you must not try hard, right? You can try very hard, but sometimes because of expectation, pressure, you may have extra effort, excessive effort. When you have excessive effort, you cannot maintain very well. There will be that it will cause a lot of restlessness. That's why I just remind, right? Save energy, more natural focusing, also relax your mind, relax your body. Everything should be smooth. Otherwise, you may have more difficulty. You may encounter more difficulties. Okay. By practicing Buddha teaching, by practicing the 3 trainings, may you all be able to realize the final cessation and the suffering.
Sadhu, 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 Sayadaw. Sayadaw, shall we take some question from the participant from the floor?
Okay, sure, okay.
Okay, Chia Hong, could you help to pass the mic to the yogis? Okay, dear participants, if you have any question, you may raise your hand, and then Brother Chia Hong can bring the mic to you. Okay, sure. Okay. Any questions from the participant? Chia Hong, could you help to turn on the video for the laptop on the table? Because we can't see the participant now. Can someone help to turn on the video? Pandey? Pandey Dhammadas? Okay, we can
It's on
see the
now.
participant now. Okay, okay, okay. Dear Dhamma brothers and sisters, do you have any questions? You may raise your hand and we will bring the microphone to you.
I have one question. Thank you for your instructions. You mentioned that it's important to learn about all the different methods. I have heard before people cautioning to not switch between methods too quickly. So how far do you have to get in one method before you look into a different method?
Okay. So in this case, if we change a lot also, then there will be some difficulty. If you are successful in one method, for example, if you are successful in Anapanasati, then you can move to another subject. It will be easier for you. So before successfully practicing Anapanasati, if you move to 4 elements, for example, when you are practicing 4 elements, the breathing will become obvious. When you are coming back to breathing, the element will become obvious. That's why we don't recommend to change very quickly. So until you are successful in some subjects, just keep doing the same things. Okay? Okay, now another question?
Thank you, Bhante. Question is, can you elaborate on the 5-minute approach? So let's say if after 5 minutes, I feel myself wandering, my thoughts are wandering, and then I just come back and I try to focus on the breath again. Is that the right way? Is that the 5 minute you're describing, or should I just open my eyes, stand up and walk around, and then sit down for another 5 minutes? Can you elaborate a little bit?
Okay, in the case of the cutting into the 5 pieces, right? That means you can we have to sit maybe 1/2 an hour, for example, 1 hour, for example, right? You can determine for 5 minutes. That means until you are not successfully focusing for 5 minutes continuously, keep doing the same determinations. If you can do successfully, okay, determine another 5 more minutes in the same sections. Okay, so that means you can divide into many parts of sections. The first part, until you are successfully focusing on the breathing for 5 minutes. Second part, so we cannot know how long it will take, right? Until you can focus 5 minutes successfully without any wandering thoughts, determine. After determinations, don't pressure too much, relax well. Okay, feel free, it will be easier for you. If you have a lot of pressures, then the more you struggle, the more you have the thoughts, the more you have a restlessness. That's why we don't recommend to pressure too much. Okay? The next one.
Sadhu. Sarah, there's a question in the chat group. Okay, from Sister Susie. Thank you, Sayadaw. Please explain how to be skillful. When is it considered skillful or not skillful? I had good effort and faith. Sadhu.
Okay, when we talk about skill, it comes from experience also. For example, when our mind and breath become very harmonious, you must try to maintain that quality. Okay, to experience that one, it will take a little bit longer time. Okay, I will go to another angle. For new meditators, so your focusing point will be very small around nose tree. Then if you try to use very strong mind power, you cannot maintain well. The other is safe energy. Okay, another one, you may analyze too much about the breathing. If you analyze too much, you may get confused. So we don't recommend to analyze. Okay, this is the one thing. Okay, we have another angle. Another one is sometimes you have too much comfort. That means you may have some joy, tranquility, rapture, or bliss. When your body becomes very calm, very quiet, and very peaceful, your mind will incline to it. Then you cannot maintain your concentration. So what about then your experience? Especially good quality, right? The good experiences such as rapture, joy, and tranquility. Don't follow it. You must remind yourself to keep knowing. Okay, the main thing is when you have good conditions, then you must know how to come back to the breathing. Then when you have bad condition also, you must know how to overcome that bad conditions. This also can be considered as a skill. This is one thing. Okay, bad condition means you may have a lot of thoughts. There will be many different thoughts, sometimes like a series of thoughts. If you have very long thoughts, it's not really very good habit. So you must know how to overcome the thoughts. For example, for short thoughts, and you may have already learned this method, counting breathing. You can count in out 1, in out 2, up to 8. This is also good enough. Sometimes if very long thoughts, whole sitting you have a thoughts. Sometimes you also have background thoughts. You can also know the breathing simultaneously. When you have that kind of condition, it will be better for you to change the subject for a while. For example, chanting something in the mind until you can overcome the thoughts. When you can cut the thoughts, come back to the breath. Okay, the main thing is you must learn how to overcome the thoughts. It also comes from the skill and experiences. Okay, this is about one angle, right? Okay, now another part. Sometimes you have good concentrations, but you don't have enough effort to maintain. Actually, maintenance skills are more important. If we can maintain well, we can improve naturally. So for all the new meditators, I just recommend to maintain better. If you can maintain well, you can improve naturally. Okay? So that means all these are called skill. Okay?
Thank you, Sayadaw. Sayadaw, there's another question from Tam Ngayen. How do I know to balance the 5 faculties? Thank you, Sayadaw.
Okay. In this case, we should divide into 2 different groups. The first group is Saddha and Aggañña, right? That means confidence and wisdom. Sometimes we have overconfidence or too much confidence. It also can mislead us. Sometimes, although there's something wrong, we still believe. So, for example, like a non-attainment as attainment, we may believe like this. This is also called Saddha. Then, if we have very strong Saddha, very weak Aggañña, very weak wisdom, then we may have many mistakes, many wrong belief. Then this one also very risky. Another one is we have wisdom, very strong wisdoms. We analyze a lot. Okay, I will say one example. You may analyze your breathing too much. How far, how near, how small, how big. You may analyze more and more. For example, sometimes you also know only which nose is breathing, left or right. Right? You may have a lot of analyzing. If you analyze too much, you may get confused. You may not believe. That's why we must balance these 2. Don't analyze too much. If we say simple, it should be simple. Okay? If we analyze it, it becomes very messy. So that's why we have to balance these 2, Saddha and Aggañña. Faith and wisdom. If we can balance these 2, we can improve. Okay, sometimes Okay, for practical practice. Sometimes, okay, even I myself have this kind of experiences. For example, when we start seeing the light, oh, this is seeing the light. Then we also say, oh, this is Nibbana, or part of the Christian knowledge, and Nimitta. No, we have that kind of curiosity, analyze it. Then actually it's not yet Nibbana, right? Just light. We think ourselves very high level. This is also very bad habit. That's why, okay, if we experience something new, don't be so curious. If we are curious about it, we will get confused. Not only that, I just talk about the light example, right? There are many other experiences. For example, you may have rapture, tranquility. Then you may also feel sometimes BT becomes like a joint or rapture, right? BT become very strong. You may feel many different things like a floating, flying, or many different experiences in your mind. You analyze why, how, why. You have many questions to yourself. The more you ask this kind of question, you will get confused. You cannot get the answer. Without analyzing, just keep knowing breathing. Then everything will change. Normally, it doesn't matter. Keep knowing breathing, right? So that is why whenever you have new experiences, don't be so curious. Don't analyze too much. Also, another thing that don't think that you are very high quality. There's also wrong belief. Okay. Whenever you have new experiences, be careful. It can be sometimes strong saddha. Okay. Sometimes also strong panya. Then balance these two. Okay. Another one is a second group. Viriya and samadhi. Viriya means efforts. Samadhi means concentration. We must balance these two. Sometimes we don't have concentration. We struggle too much. We make very strong efforts. Especially we put too much mind power to keep knowing breathing. The more we struggle, the more we have restlessness. So that means if you have a lot of thoughts, that means background thoughts, that means knowing, you also know the breathing, you also have another thoughts in background. If you have two objects at the same, if you know two objects at the same time, be careful. You are struggling too much. So you have thoughts knowingly. Although you know the thoughts, you cannot overcome it. That means excess effort. Be careful. Save energy. Sometimes your concentration becomes stronger. Too much comfort. That means your body is very light, very bright, very comfortable. Then your effort cannot maintain that level. Gradually, your mind will be blurred. You don't know any particular object, like a subconscious. When you have this kind of things, that means you have very weak efforts. Your concentration is stronger. Okay, to avoid this problem, whenever you have very much calmness and quietness, you must remind yourself to keep knowing breathing. Whenever you have new experiences, any kind of good experiences, you must remind yourself to keep knowing breathing. Or maybe every few seconds, remind you one time. Every few minutes, remind you one time. In this way, you can maintain your concentration. You can balance your controlling faculties. Mindfulness is always needed, right? Okay. Any other question?
Any more questions from the participant?
Thank you, Sayadaw. I have one question. So how can we differentiate between the nimitta? Is the nimitta right in front of the nostril area, or is all over the body? And when we practice, how can we know the right time to merge between the breath and the nimitta as one object of meditation? Thank you, Sayadaw.
Okay. Okay. So although you see the nimitta, it can be different shapes, different color, different locations. It doesn't matter. Right? You must keep knowing breathing. Okay, one more thing here. In your question, also mentioned how can we differentiate, right? It can be all over the body. Okay, one more thing. If we say the light, it can be all over the body. We can see the light everywhere. It can be very far, or it can be very near, right? In the case of nimitta, we have shape. Shape means also we can also say some color. For example, like a cloud, like cotton wool, like the moon, like the star, and something like that. There are many different types of nimitta. Even in the Visuddhimagga, it mentioned many types of Visuddhimagga, many types of nimittas. I mean, different shape, different color, like a thread, cotton wool, like a bamboo split, and many different shape, like a ruby and jade, or many different types of nimitta, right? Whatever then you see, whatever shape or color or location, don't think about it. Just keep knowing breathing. So gradually, when your nimitta become very powerful, it will be very bright, like the moon or like the stars. When it become very bright, your breath will gradually subtle. Finally, it will disappear. When your breath disappear, then your mind will naturally go to the nimitta. You can focus on nimitta at the time. So don't create nimitta. For example, some meditators, they may see nimitta around the forehead, right? They're trying to pull down to the nostril. This is also extra effort, it causes a lot of restlessness. That's why whenever you see the light or you see the nimitta, whatever shape, whatever color, don't think about it. Don't follow it. Just keep knowing breathing. Gradually it will come to your nostril, naturally. Okay?
Thank you, Sayadaw. Any more questions from the participants? Okay, you may also send your questions to the Zoom chat later on. And tonight we will have a Dharma talk. If you have any more questions, you can send to the chat group, or you can ask by raising your hand. Okay. So if there is no question, Sayadaw, may we end the session today?
Okay.
Okay. Sadhu, 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 Sayadaw Aggañña and Sayadaw Kovida for your valuable teachings today. And thank you, our interpreter Bantes, for the translation. May we invite Sayadaw to lead us in making aspiration and sharing of merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Itavada cha amehi sambadam punya sambadam
Sambadam punya sambadam
sabbe deva numodantu
sabbe devan
sabbe buddha numodantu
Sabbe Buddha Anumodantu.
sabbe satta numodantu
Sabbe Sattva Anumodantu.
sabba sampati siriya
Sabba Sambadi Siddhiya.
idame nyatinam hotu
Dhamme Nyatinam Hotu.
sukhita hontu nyatayo
Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo.
idame nyatinam hotu
Idame Nyatinam Hotu.
sukhita hontu nyatayo
Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo.
idame nyatinam hotu
Idame Nyatinam Hotu.
sukhita hontu nyatayo
Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo.
idame punyam
Idame Punyam.
asavekaya
Asavakaya.
waham hotu
Aham Hotu.
idame punyam
Idame Punyam.
nibbanasa
Nibbanasa.
pacayo hotu
Pachayo Hotu.
mama punya bhagam
Mama Punya Bhagam.
sabba sadanam
Sabba Satanam.
bhajemi
Bhajemi.
te sabbe
Te Sabe.
me samam
Me Samam.
punya bhagam
Punya Bhagam.
Lavantu,
Labantu,
Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu.
Sadhu,